In part 1 of this series, we started learning how to make this midi. So the first part, as usual, was about drafting. We saw the entire drafting of this midi, including all the calculations. In this part, we will see the stitching of this midi, how we will be stitching this midi. Let's quickly see that. Let's start with the button panel for the front one. As is in this design, there is this button panel in front. So we will leave about 1/4 inch, that is the margin that we had left. Sorry, that is the seam allowance that we had left for the neck. So we will leave that much, and then we will stitch the button panel. But for button panel also, this side is raw, we can't keep it raw. So what we can do, we should do is, we should fold it like this. So I'm just folding it, fold it like this, and then from 1/4 inch below the neckline we will stitch this button panel. Okay, so I'll put a stitch at 1/2 inch here, and then we will do the rest of the stitching. For this I don't need to pin because this is a thick cotton. It doesn't need to be pinned. It's pretty simple and actually very easy to handle. So let's stitch this. Okay, so this is how the right side looks. Okay, this is how the right side looks. Now what we will do, we will fold. This entire thing is 3 and 1/4 inch that I had taken. You can take as per your requirement. If you want a bigger button panel, sometimes the design might be such that you need a broader one or wider one, in which case you can take wide one. So this will give me approximately a button panel which will be like 1 inch, and I will fold this side, and next I will just stitch it on top of this. Yeah, it will give me a neat, clean button panel. Don't be bothered about this 1/4 inch that is left, that will get used up for the collar. Okay, we need that, otherwise we won't be able to finish the collar. Now what I will do, I have kept both the sides ready. I will put a stitch here and finish off the button panel. Okay, it is a simple straight stitch is what I am going to put. Both my button panels are ready. In ladies, what happens, the right side is on top and the left side goes inside. So that is the kind of norm that is generally followed for shirts and anything which has got button panel in front. So the right side here is on top, so you can see the fine stitch here, and my button panel is ready. Next what I will be doing is, I will attach the shoulder with the back, and then we will we will finish the collar. So I will simply attach the shoulder like this, okay, on both the sides, and then my back will be, my neck will be, my shoulder will be ready so that I can do the collar. When you are stitching, obviously it has to be in a way that the right side is in front. Since this is the right side, the stitch has to go on the wrong side. So be mindful of that. That is very important. So I've attached the shoulders on both the sides. Okay, so this is how it's looking. The right side is on top and the left side is has gone beneath. The shoulders have been attached. Now next I will be adding this collar. Okay, so the collar I have cut as per size. How to cut the collar is something that I have showed in my 10-day course, the main course. I'll leave the description of the shorter course in the description box. Through that you can always go into the main course, okay, the 10-day course. Anyways, so I have cut the collar here. So what I will be doing, I have left a margin, I have left a seam allowance of 1/4 inch in the collar as well. So this is the side which will get attached with the neck okay, and this is the side that is the loose end of the collar. So I will start a stitch all the way from here. I will go straight till here, and I will stitch this end also. I will leave this end open, okay. Once I have done this, then I will turn it inside out. So I will show that process also. Before that, I'll simply stitch these three sides, okay. It's a normal simple stitch which I am going to do in the sewing machine. I'm not going to show it here. It's a simple stitch. Then how we will be attaching the collar with the main yoke is what I'm going to show. So I have stitched the collar. This is the wrong side. Now what we will do next is we will turn this collar inside out, okay. Nicely you will need to turn and pinch out the corners also properly. Once you have turned the collar, we will iron it nicely so that you know it's properly shaped. Here you can use a small pin and pinch out this corner. Or you can use a small screwdriver like this, any pointed thing, not very sharp, and here I'm doing the same thing with the other point of the collar so that we get a nice pointed collar, okay. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this nicely so that it sits properly when I'm stitching it with the main body, okay. So after ironing, I stitched one side of this collar with the neck, okay. Before stitching I had just pinned it. I stitched it on the one side with the neck, okay. So now what we will do, we will simply take this collar, we will fold it, and we will put a stitch here also, okay. So that will finish our collar here like this. Before that you can iron it so that you know it is evenly, the fold is very even, it's not uneven anywhere. You can iron it properly, and then that will complete our collar. So I will simply iron it, I will put this stitch, and then I will show you the final collar. So as you can see, my collar is ready, okay. So this is how it is. I have put a stitch here. If you can see, it's pretty even, nice and even, and this is the stitch which is visible on the underneath, and this is the button panel, which is the right side is on top. And yeah, so if the customer doesn't want to put the button here, if she wants to keep it open, it will look something like this. Here it will look something like this. Now that my yoke is done, rest I have to do is, next what I have to do is I have to finish the rest of the midi, which is the yoke, which is the velvet part of the midi. So that is the next thing that I'll be going to do. So I've done the panel finishing of the rest of the part of the midi. So this is something which I teach in my 10-day fashion designing course, okay. Now what we will be doing, I'll be attaching this with the yoke part that I had created. So this is the yoke part that I had created with the collar. I'll attach this onto this. For this what I've done, I have already pinned this because it was otherwise separate. I have pinned it properly so that it remains in place and it doesn't move around when I'm stitching this. Plus it's easy for me to place it. Next what I'm going to do, see here the shoulder, I'll release a part of it, I'll release a little bit of it depending on the measurement, and I will insert the shoulder part of this midi here, okay. That is what I will be doing. So let me release this, let me set this entire thing, and then I will show it to you. So after arranging everything, I have pinned it properly. I have pinned the front of the midi with the yoke. I have pinned here the shoulder. See, I had opened up a little bit for this to enter. So I have pinned it here. I will stitch it. Same way I have done for this side also. I will stitch it, and I have pinned the back side also. Now that everything is nicely and neatly pinned up, now I will just put a I will put a stitch at the very edge of this, and then I will show it to you. So this is how the final look is after I stitched the yoke with the midi. I have already cut sleeves for this as per the sleeve block which is in my 10-day course. I have attached this frill which is a simple attachment. I have also put the beads. Now what I will be doing next step is to attach the sleeve with the main piece. So I will attach both the sleeves, and then I will show you some basic finishing, and then we'll wrap it up. So as you can see, I have attached the sleeves. Before attaching the sleeves though, there was this one armhole dart that I wanted to put, so I have put that. And now what I am going to do is I am going to reverse this entire thing, okay, and then we are going to mark it. Okay, we will start from the we will mark the sides of this. Okay, so we will start from the side of the sleeve all the way. We will mark the armhole. Okay, we will mark the armhole and then the side of the dress all the way till the end. So we have to do that marking, and then once we have done the marking, then we will stitch it. Okay, so then our sides will be done. Once the side is done, then we will just have to finish the bottom. So for bottom, I'm just going to put a double fold like this, and it will be done. Okay, our work will be over, and then I will just finally display this entire thing that I have just mentioned. So see, this is how I pin the sides. Okay, because it is velvet, I have pinned it first, and I have pinned the entire thing from sleeve. See the armhole, entire way I have pinned it till the end. On both the sides I have done this. See, from the end armhole till the sleeve end. Because I have pinned it, it will now become easy for me to do the marking. And then what I will do, I will simply do the marking using tailor's chalk, and then on the marking I will just stitch the midi. Next what I'll be doing, I'll be adding beads to the collar, just like how I have added to the sleeves here. Same way I want to add beads to the collar to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so for that I already have kept a few beads. I'll go with these first. Okay, these are normal beads that are readily available. If this much is okay, then fine, otherwise I will take more beads. Okay, so now I will show you how I put these beads. It's very simple actually. Take one bead, and obviously you will need needle and thread. I have taken the double thread here, and obviously I have put a knot on one side. Okay, so I just ballpark the position of the beads, but if it is your first time, you might want to mark very small markings on the place or on the garment where you want to put the beads. Okay, so I'll insert the needle like this, and I'll thread the bead. Then I will go through this twice. Okay, but remember, when I'm going through it, when you go through it, you don't go to the other side. So collar is always 2 layers, right? So we go from within the layers. That way what happens is it remains very clean on the other side. See, this is how we thread it. Okay, so the needle is not here, it is between the 2 layers here. Okay, we'll do it again. Same way, we'll have to go between the 2 layers. Now once this is done, what I will be doing is I will lock this. Okay, so for locking, I go here again. It's not going all the way to the other side. And then I take the thread twice to lock the stitch. So everything is here on the front side, it's not visible and nothing is there. And then you take the needle from between, and again it will not go all the way to the other side. You just bring it out like this. Okay, once this is done, one bead is done. Okay, now we just cut this off. See, so clean. No doubt there is just one dot, but other than that, it is very clean. Don't go all the way like, continue the thread from here to the next bead, to the next bead, to the next bead. No, then it will look very dirty when the collar flips and the other side is visible. So similarly, this way I will put all the beads in the collar. And this is how the midi finally looked. And you can see here I have finished the buttons also, and the entire collar has small beads just to match the beads that I had put in the sleeves also. So as you can see on the reverse side, it's absolutely clean. So that is how you get excellent boutique finish. You will see a few dots which is where we started, where the thread had the knots, but otherwise it's absolutely clean. And this has got a very nice look, as in it's got a layered look, as if you're wearing a midi on top of a shirt. So this is how it is on the back side as well. So this turned out to be very nice actually. And let me tell you that I have, as I mentioned earlier, a 5-day course for people who want to get introduced into the concepts of fashion design and want to learn the most profitable garment in fashion business. I have shown the drafting of that one in this 5-day course, and with entire calculation, the cutting, etc. So do sign up for that course if you are interested in fashion design. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And yeah, if you like this video, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.